You say your name and grade for the camera?
Gabriel Espinal, and I'm in the 11th grade.
Christopher Freño, 12th grade.
Enrique Enamorado, and I'm in grade 12.
My name is Marcelo Massimo, and I'm a senior.
Nicole Girval, and I'm in 12th grade.
My name is Yolanda Viles, and I'm the college counselor for the school.
The IB courses I'm taking are English higher level, Spanish higher level, business management higher level, physics standard level, chemistry standard level, and math analysis standard level.
I'm taking IB History high level and IB Spanish high level.
My 2SL courses would be IB Psychology and IB Math Analysis, and my 4 HLs would be English, Spanish, Business, and Biology.
I'm taking English, Spanish, Math, and Art.
Do you have any regrets about your courses?
Not yet. I would say not yet, even though that, I've pretty much forgotten everything about chemistry in the break. Kind of the math does not make sense sometimes. But like regrets, not fully. Sometimes I kind of do regret applying for like all the hardest courses that my school has to offer, because I don't know how I'm gonna do in the IB exam.
I wouldn't say fully regrets, but I would have focused more on trying to get into a physics course because I'm gonna study engineering. So maybe that bio aspect hasn't really helped as much as I thought it would.
So you have taken IB Art.
Yes.
Would you recommend IB Art to any other students?
Honestly, a lot of people have a lot of hate for IB Art, but I think that people should take IB Art because it's not as bad as people make it sound.
Okay, thank you.
What's the hardest IB class you're taking?
Probably physics. Honestly, it's pretty similar to my other IB class. It's not really that hard. However, you must apply all the concepts that you learned in the previous lessons, so every time it gets progressively harder.
My hardest IB class, I would say right now, it's IB History. They give you a lot of homework, and they give you multiple homeworks for every day, so you have to read a lot of pages, take a lot of notes, and it involves a lot of studying and memorizing. It is definitely a class which is really hard. The content is not really that hard, but the amount of content makes it very hard to learn everything.
One of my hardest definitely has been chemistry to an extent, since I have never looked at chemistry before taking the IB course, just in 9th grade.
At the moment, math, because I feel like the rest are fairly doable.
I would say HL Bio.
Why would you say HL Biology is the hardest IB course?
I would say it's the hardest IB course because the demand is not comparable to any other class. It would basically be kind of college level. I would say pre-med, maybe compared to that. Its difficulty and the sacrifice you have to make is really a lot of time. So I would say it's definitely one of the most interactive but challenging courses the school has.
Who would you recommend take this HL Bio course?
I would recommend it to the people that are definitely certain they're going to study medicine, probably 90% sure.
We really try to emphasize this is a good fit if you're looking to become a doctor or going into medicine. And the reality is students do change their mind.
Once you start it and realize that's not what you really want to do, you're stuck in there until you finish it, and you're not going to enjoy the process as much. So you really have to really be sure. You can't mess up that decision.
We do have students have make that commitment after 9th grade, and we recognize it's an early commitment. We do have built in a system where you can move into an SL Bio course if it's not a good fit, but you still can't take the IB Physics. That's a fact.
Do you want to study medicine?
No.
The IB program is a good program. There are different courses that some students will find more interesting, and it's hard to predict. So there are certain things that once you make a decision, it does close some doors. But at the end of the day, if we didn't have any IB courses and you just took the normal physics and the normal biology and the normal chemistries, to the extent that you are being prepared for university is is still very individual.
Would you recommend the full IB experience for an upcoming student?
I do, just because like you like would be able to like manage your time better and like also just like gain knowledge that other classes do not have to offer.
I would definitely recommend the IB Psych course since I really liked the course with the teacher. I found it really interesting as well.
What would you say are the benefits of taking math analysis over math applications?
I would say that it prepares you a lot for college. It gives you that calculus credit, especially. You really learn some of the topics, only if it's kind of superficial, but you get an idea into some of the hard topics you're going to see in college.
The benefits of being a full IB student at AST is, first of all, you get the opportunity of earning a third diploma, and it's the only school in the country where you can do that. And you are able to learn how to manage your time and be challenged in all the areas of the courses that you're taking.
I mean, if you do well in your IB exams, it's gonna look well in your application as well. Plus, like, I mean, you get to meet people with like similar interests to you. So, and the IB courses also help you like get a grasp of like what career experiences you want to pursue.
Because the reality is IB courses are strong courses. They do provide university preparation, like better than a non-IB course does.
So colleges want to see that you're taking the most rigorous courses available to you. So when you're taking the IB diploma, you're telling your university that you are a student that likes to be challenged, that you're a student that takes the most rigorous courses available to you. In terms of admission, the IB diploma helps you, especially in Europe, because there are a lot of European universities that will take your IB diploma in lieu of an admission test. A lot of schools are looking into IB diploma as the one diploma that they would consider very similar to the diploma that their students earn in their countries.
Some people say, I took IB, it was completely worthless. And then you talk to them a few years later and they say, I was wrong, Mr. Dolby, I got a free semester in university. Or, I mean, the feedback I get from students who have gone through the IB program is overwhelmingly, like 100%. Those are the ones talking to me. So the ones giving me feedback are, I'm really glad I did it. It really helped me in university, and they give me reasons: financials, acceptance, the habits to have success. People had, said, I heard that some of the students are saying, don't do it, it's not worth all of the time that you put into it. And the students that said that ended up taking IB, and I've been following up with them, and they're actually really happy they did. There are great benefits to being in the IB diploma program. I've been here since 2012, and there has been a bit of a shift since the post-COVID period. Our students at AST do a lot. And so a reoccurring theme, which was pre-COVID and post-COVID, so many times I've had parents saying, you don't have to be full IB. You can you don't have to do that. And that's really good advice. But what I see a lot of students do over and over and over is, even though their parents are giving them, like, you don't have to do the full IB for us, students are so often still, I think, feeling that they want to make their parents proud. And I think that students fall for that trap of seeing IB courses as somehow making their parents proud. And it's hard to change that mindset. It's a compliment to the community, but it's also a challenge.
Students drop out of being full IB students because usually they have a lot on their plate. And many times they really don't know exactly how much time it requires and how rigorous the courses are.
I haven't kept data per year how many students have withdrawn, because until recently the numbers, they haven't been too many.
The hardest part of the IB experience is definitely the workload when it comes to going home after working a lot of hours at school and working even more hours until late, and also with the studying, with exams.
Also, I have seen students get very stressed with the IB diploma requirements So sometimes they have to decide for their mental health and decide that, you know, if they have some IB courses, that's going to be good enough for them.
How stressful would you say the full program is?
I would say it depends on like which courses you're taking, because you may take like some of the easier courses like the languages or business management. But like if you take like a lot of maths or sciences, it could be like challenging. But it really just depends on which courses you take.
Sometimes, you know, it's really hard to know exactly what to expect. And if the IB diploma doesn't match your expectations, then you reconsider if it's really worth the sacrifice of the hours that you have to put into your studies.
I mean, some of the downsides can be the workload that comes with the courses, especially in the languages, since both Spanish and English higher level like assign a lot of work, a lot of writing that can sometimes be stressful, since you're just like putting all like your brain power into just writing. And like another downside is that sometimes you may not have like as much free time as you used to have, since you're always going to be like assigned work throughout the entire week.
How much free time would you say you have when you get home?
I have about maybe 2 hours of free time, and then I have to go to sleep since I need to get back to school tomorrow.
Approximately how much free time do you have when you get home?
None.
So I've basically been a student athlete since middle school, all the way from 9th grade up to now. I've been swimming and playing football the entire time, and it's actually a very big sacrifice.
What would you say is the workload balance for student athletes?
Personally, I used to have a pretty decent workload balance, but they started giving us more, so now I don't really have balance.
The amount of time you have to sacrifice, for example, on the weekends or on Fridays and late at night when you don't want to work. So it's definitely a massive sacrifice.
Do you find it hard to manage your IB homework with your extracurricular?
Yes, because I get home until 9, so I have to sleep and cram in everything that I have to work on after school.
How much free time would you say you have due to full IB?
Weekly.
Like, give on a scale of 1?
1.
You have to have time to have social. You can't always be working. And when students give themselves that break, they're not working. You know, it's a balance. So
Time management is a big thing. I mean, you need to learn how to administer the time and devote the hours that you need to comply with the internal assessments, with the extended essay, with the TOK essay. So there's a lot of things that you need to do, and you don't have the time during school day to do it. So sometimes time goes by and you're overwhelmed and you just change your mind and decide that the full IB diploma is not for you.
I make it a point to try to emphasize balance and looking ahead and talking to people who have been in the IB program, who've taken the full IB diploma program, or of course, you know, just the some certificates in the program. And depending on how many things you're involved with outside of school, how many sports, government or clubs, whatever.
Another downside could be that you're not used to like doing so much for the diploma, such as CAS or extended essay, which may be a little bit overwhelming, but you can easily overcome that with time as you adjust to the program.
Would you say that you are prepared for the IB exam of History of the Americas?
No.
So right now, we're going to list all of your IB courses, and you're going to give me on a scale of 1 to 10 how prepared you feel for those exams. How about English?
For English, I would say 7.5.
For Spanish?
8.
For business?
7.
For biology?
2.
I would like to change the mindset that we have to be 5 IBs or full IBs, because other schools, you know, are just IB courses. Other schools don't do all the extracurriculars that AST students do. AST students are incredibly hardworking students.
Would you recommend to a new student to take these IB courses?
Probably because of college, yes. If you want your mental sanity to be okay.
Do you recommend full IB to incoming students?
I would recommend it if they are looking for a challenge and if they are looking to get an idea of what college could be like, because it's very demanding. You do learn a whole lot more than the other people who wouldn't be taking the full IB. If you're looking to have a challenge and really like push yourself academically, I would recommend it.
Would you recommend HL Bio?
To people studying, who want to really study medicine and devote their lives to it, yes.
Wake up, filthy.